Hi. We be looking at cancer and some of the recent findings that shows how women contract cancer without knowing. Cancer is such a very deadly disease that can kill many people in many parts of the world. And but the actual causes of cancer is not yet well known. But people believe that there are so many things that can lead to cancer. There are so many accumulated stuff in the body that can lead to cancer. But after going through my research, I noticed that there's still information. People don't really have information on some of the cause of cancer in women. So I did my findings. I noticed that there are recent findings. There are common ways, common things that people do that they don't know that makes women get susceptible to cancer, and because of that, now we just look at what are some of these ways. If you look at cancer itself, cancer is just like a growth of, unusual growth in the body due to cancerous cells and others. Now, because if you see that this post is just a combination of many facts and recent findings, so I have to dig down for young ladies, for women, for housewives, and what are some of these things. If you look at women, when you talk about breast cancer, it's very common among women, among ladies, among mature women, and so we need to enlighten ourselves. We need to make ourselves know that, okay, what are some of these things that you need to know, so that you can either avoid them or do less of them and others. So I think that's why I prefer to gather this information and produce this video, so that every one of us will learn. Now, cancer is a disease which kills many men, many women, young ladies, housewives, and it has seen as a very terrible disease that has no cure. When somebody have cancerous growth in it, there's so many things. Some people go for chemo, some people go for it, and it does 50% chances, but it's very expensive and it is deadly. And so it starts with malignant growth of cells in the body, which later develop into cancerous growth in form of unwanted growth, and it kills gradually. Now, let's just a quick look at some of the types of cancer. And there are various types of cancer, which includes the mouth cancer, the esophagus cancer, the throat cancer, skin cancer, blood cancer, tongue cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, throat cancer, skin cancer, eye cancer, and bone cancer, and so many things. But the one which is very common, I think for women, the breast cancer and the colon cancer is very common. And as times for people that use bleaching cream, skin cancer is also very common among them. But unknowingly to them, some of the major cause of cancer are not really well known. But because of facts, because of findings, we're able to put some factors together, and it has been tested to and noted that there are some things like hereditary factor, overexposure to sunlight, overexposure to light, and so many other things causes this cancer. Now, let's go straight to some of these recent findings on causes of cancer in women, in young women, in ladies and housewives. So we are going to look at overexposure to asbestos. I heard it on the news that there's this particular company in America that mistakenly added some type of trace asbestos inside some of their products, and it has been seen that after testing some of these people, they noticed that it causes cervical cancer in some women. So I noticed that even generally overexposure to dust, to asbestos, to some of these leads, and usually cause malignant growth, that cancerous growth for the body. So in my findings, in the recent findings, overexposure to asbestos causes cancer in women. So I want you to know that if you have been exposed to asbestos, like some women that works in the factory, if you are exposed to some of the asbestos, then you might be susceptible, or you might get exposed to cancer. And also another thing is your multiple sex partner. When some women probably they are not married, or even they are married, they have some multiple sex partner, it can lead to some cancer, like uterus cancer or cancer of the cervix, because of the habit of changing, having so many sex partner. It has also been confirmed, because it could lead to sexual related diseases, which increases, or which enhance the growth of some of these cancerous cells. The use of bleaching cream, like some people, especially blacks, that use cream, that they want to be fair, because some of these bleaching creams are harsh, and they are harsh. They are produced from strong harsh medical substance, and these women even rub this cream on their bodies, even on their nipples and their breasts, and this chemical find their ways into the breast tissue and may lead to breast cancer. So not only breast cancer causes is being caused by this, but some other type of cancer, like the skin cancer, can also be as a result of overexposure to some of this bleaching cream, because bleaching contains some cancerous chemicals, from strong chemicals like hydroquinone, which when with sunlight when exposed to sunlight, they can actually, even hydroquinone can actually change to hydroquinone, and which is a very terrible substance. Then I've seen people do oral sex. I don't know what they are enjoying in it. Probably because they watch too much of porn, and it's making them feel like okay, they can do oral sex. The world is really turning into something immoral, and as a result of this, people who like having oral sex and getting, they are likely to get infected with throat cancer, because if you're having normal oral sex a lot, it might lead to, and especially from multiple sex partners, then it can lead to growth of cancerous cells, and I think I need you to desist from that. Then anal stuff too, not only oral sex, some people they do anal or anal for multiple sex partners. So for people who enjoy getting satisfaction through the anus, and they might also get getting exposed to some of these cancerous cells and cancerous growth in their body. So I don't know, because I believe that the anus is an excreting organ, not a reproductive one, and not a sex organ. Since the anus is an excretory organ, then putting on some of those cells from sperm in this can actually cause cancer of the anus. And another one which is very common, especially in rural area in Africa, is keeping money inside their bra. This is very common among women in some parts of especially South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana. All these old women, they put money in their bra, don't knowing that even the money contains some chemicals in it. And you see, because some of them do this to also have quick access to their money. Probably they don't want to use a bag, or they want to use a purse. And which this, when you put all this money with the chemicals in it, and do you know how many hands that have taken this money in a day? So as they do that, they can spread some of these cancerous who can actually react to some of the nipples, get inside the body, inside the, and money contains mercury, so some of these traces of mercury can actually find their way into their breast, which might result to breast cancer. And another thing is overexposure to radiation. So you see, and I said like that one is popular. When you get exposed to radiations like sunlight from the sun, Bluetooth devices, infrared devices, microwaves, phones, and all these things. So these are some of the things that causes overexposure. Okay, so let me just, in conclusion, you see some of the recent findings, as I've just said, that causes cancer for women is overexposure to sunlight, keeping money in the bra, anal sex, keeping multiple sex partners, and you see doing a lot of stuff. Especially exposing yourself to sunlight is very, very bad. Having so many sex partners, and use your bleaching creams. You want to bleach, you want to get so, and you see all these things, and exposing yourself to radiations, microwaves, eating too much of microwave food, getting exposed to infrared, then, and that is that. Then another one which I've seen, which I noticed that also, when you get exposed to too much of crude chemicals, is it like crude oil, petroleum, and all those things, getting exposed to some of these things contain carbons, and carbon can also be like, can also cause a kind of magnetic growth in the body of women. And so all these things are some of the things that cause cancer in women. Please, if you have any question, use the comment box below. Then subscribe to the channel, share it. Now, please work on all these things. Avoid all these things, just so that you don't have cancer later in the future as a woman. Thank you.